New to the series? This audio novel is best enjoyed from the beginning. You can find the full playlist right here or in the description.
This life, I will be the main carry. Part 2. In the game's guild hall, the four of us sat together, excitedly discussing the future of our guild. Amidst the relaxed and joyful atmosphere, I shifted the topic to the real world. We need a real-life guild hub, I said. I opened the world map. Olivia's in the UK, Amy's in the US, Bai is in China, and I'm still a university student here in Korea. So the guild's real-life base needs to be somewhere easy for me to manage, here in Korea. Exactly, Olivia excitedly agreed in the voice channel. Our work and residential situations are relatively stable. We can assist Da-hee remotely or locally, and send all the resources we get in the game to the hub in Korea for her to distribute and manage. Then it's settled. The guild's real-life base will be in Korea, I said with a smile. When I took off my Neuralink headset and got up from the gaming pod, the feeling of the real world washed over me again. I walked into the kitchen, grabbed an iced coffee from the fridge, and saw Ji-hoon's messages on my phone. His words, from initial questions to threatening commands, were filled with bitterness. I didn't reply, just sneered, and added all his contact info to my blacklist. I changed into a simple black dress that perfectly accentuated my strong physique. Standing in front of the mirror, I let out a cold, confident smile. I decided to take a walk near my university campus to look for a potential guild hub. I arrived at the university fountain. Ji-hoon was leaning against a brand new sports car with his new priest, Lee Soo-yeon, standing beside him. The car gleamed in the sun, its flashy aura perfectly mirroring their arrogance. Da-hee, what are you doing here? Why didn't you reply to my messages? Ji-hoon's voice was filled with fury, his calm facade from the game completely gone. I didn't react, just looked at him with a calm gaze and a faint, cold smirk on my face. Lee Soo-yeon gently touched Ji-hoon's arm, her voice sweet and filled with fake concern. Ji-hoon appa, maybe Da-hee just didn't see the messages, right? She wouldn't intentionally ignore you. You're so strong and dependable, and she was lucky to have you in her party. After all, the assassin class is so difficult, she probably can't survive on her own. Her words seemed gentle, but they were laced with hidden meaning, painting me as an incompetent and dependent weakling. Ji-hoon's chest puffed out, swelling with her praise. Lee Da-hee, have you lost your mind? Who do you think you are? Without me, you're nothing in the game. You chose assassin. Do you really think you can take care of yourself? I watched him quietly, as if observing a bad one-man show. I no longer needed to explain anything to him. He saw the lack of emotion in my eyes, and his confidence began to waver. Listen, I'm giving you one last chance. Come back to the party. The assassin class is useless without a good team. You can't survive. I finally spoke, my voice calm and clear. I'm not here to talk about the game, Ji-hoon. I'm here to formally end our relationship. We're done. From now on, you and I are strangers. The arrogant smile on Ji-hoon's face froze. He reached for my arm, but my movements were faster. I quickly sidestepped, and he stumbled, almost falling. I took one last look at them, a sincere smile spreading across my face. You two are a perfect match. I hope you'll be together forever. With that, I turned and walked away, leaving Ji-hoon alone. His face was ashen, his eyes filled with disbelief. Lee Soo-yeon approached him with her fake sweet smile, murmuring inaudibly. Watching them, I knew their relationship was as flimsy as a house of cards. After leaving Ji-hoon, I walked alone on the university streets. My heart held no anger or resentment, only an unprecedented sense of peace. The city's concrete jungle, once cold in my eyes, now seemed full of infinite possibilities. At an inconspicuous street corner, I noticed a 5-story red brick building. It was an outlier among the modern, glass skyscrapers, its facade showing its age but radiating warmth and sturdiness. It was like a forgotten treasure, quietly waiting for its owner. A smile bloomed on my lips. I knew this building would be our home. I took out my phone and called Olivia. Hello, is this Olivia? Da-hee, is everything okay? She asked, her voice tinged with surprise, but mostly warmth. I found the perfect spot for our guild hub, I said, a feeling of relief and liberation surging through me. And I completely broke up with Ji-hoon. After a brief silence, a gasp of pure joy and disbelief came from the other end. What did you just say? I said our story is just beginning, I laughed, feeling lighter than ever before. That night, the four of us gathered in the Games Guild Hub to discuss our future. A guild hub near the university campus is an excellent idea, Bai said in the voice channel. Exactly, Olivia excitedly chimed in. This 5-story red brick building is perfect. We can make the first floor a coffee shop and bar, the second our office and conference room, and the third and fourth our apartments. The best part is the rooftop terrace that overlooks the entire city. It'll be our private sanctuary. Woohoo! That's amazing! My kitties can sunbathe on the terrace. Amy's sweet voice came from far away in the US, full of joy. But the question is, how do we buy this building? Bai asked, calmly pulling us back to reality. We'll use our in-game resources, I answered confidently. I explained that I had used my past life knowledge as a priest to understand the game's economy and had already contacted a few real-world buyers. Insignificant-looking rare ores and rune fragments were converted with advanced technology into priceless elemental crystals. These crystals weren't just rare in-game materials. In reality, they were core components for new energy sources and high-end electronics. Our goal isn't just to be the best guild in the game, I said, my voice filled with an unshakable determination. It's to use our in-game resources to build our own business empire in the real world. This building is the starting point of our dream. Da-hee, can we really do it? Amy's voice was hesitant. Trust me, I replied, simply, my eyes firm. Over the next few days, I put the plan into action. I sold the elemental crystals for a fortune, enough to buy the red brick building in cash with plenty left over for renovations and equipment. I didn't hesitate. I bought the building and registered it under our guild's name, Eternal Light. Standing in front of the building again, a deep sense of belonging washed over me. This was no longer just a virtual guild fall, it was a real home. I had the building renovated just as we'd planned. The first floor became a spacious, well-lit cafe, the second a modern office with 4 brand-new Neuralink headsets. The third and fourth floors were designed as cozy apartments, each tailored to our individual tastes. Up on the rooftop terrace, I placed tables and chairs and planted some greenery, even adding a special bed for Amy's cats. Leaning against the railing, I looked out at the city lights twinkling in the night. The cold concrete jungle now felt incredibly warm in my eyes. Just then, my phone rang. It was Olivia. Da-hee, I saw the pictures you sent. This building is amazing. When can we move in? She asked, her voice full of excitement. Whenever you're ready, I smiled. That's great. I've already booked my flight. I'll be in Korea next week. Me too, Amy and Bai's voices chimed in the voice chat. I laughed, feeling relaxed and confident. This time, we would walk this path together to the very end. After hanging up with Olivia, I fell into a deep, peaceful sleep, the most restful I'd had since my rebirth. The next morning, my phone screen lit up with a call from Bai. Da-hee, I've arrived in Korea, he said, his voice tinged with fatigue but also excitement. You're here? I asked, surprised. Wasn't it supposed to be next week? I wanted to see you in person as soon as possible, he said, cautiously. We met at a cafe near my university. When I saw Bai, he looked exactly like his in-game character, but with glasses that made him look more mature and intelligent. Hi, Da-hee. Finally. Hey, Bai, I replied, sitting down and looking at him. I knew what he wanted to say, but I didn't want to force it. He fell silent for a moment, then spoke slowly. You must remember that in my past life, in that dungeon, I didn't choose to stay. My heart sank. That memory was a scar I never wanted to touch. I ran, not because I was afraid of dying. At the time, all I could think about was how to avenge you and Olivia. I found out that Ji-hoon was connected to a mysterious guild called Shadow Guard, but their power was far too great. I only managed to find some surface-level information before Ji-hoon set a trap for me, and I died in a monster tide a few months after you two. He looked at me, his eyes filled with tears. After I was reborn, I decided to live this life differently. I swore I wouldn't let the same tragedy happen again. I've been secretly investigating Shadow Guard all this time. I found some clues. The guild is backed by a multinational organization that controls the global energy grid. They're using the game to filter for resources and talent. He took a small USB drive from his pocket and handed it to me. "This is all the information I've collected so far. Da-hee, I know you're strong, but I can't take on this behemoth alone. I need you. I need the power of all four of us." I took the USB drive and felt the warmth of his hand. That heavy sense of responsibility made me realize this wasn't just my revenge. It was a battle for all of us. I gave a relaxed, confident smile. "Don't worry, Bai. This time, we won't let them win. Our guild, Eternal Light, will become the most dazzling light in this world." His tears fell silently. He smiled, a smile brighter than the sun. "Da-hee, this time we'll walk this path together to the very end." I nodded, my eyes shining with determination. Together, to the very end. A few days later, Olivia, Amy, and Bai arrived in Korea. I drove the sports car I bought with my first earnings from the game to the airport to pick them up. The shiny body of the car perfectly reflected my mood. This time, my journey wasn't about running away, but about welcoming my family. When I saw Olivia emerge from the gate, my heart skipped a beat. She didn't have her past life memories, but her resilience and determination were ingrained in her bones. Her wild, half-shaved hair from the game had become an elegant platinum blonde short bob, softly framing her delicate features. Yet her deep blue eyes still held the same unyielding will. She was wearing simple, casual clothes, but her every move carried an innate British aristocracy air. Her eyes were searching, and when she saw me, they shone with a flash of surprise and delight. A petite figure popped up from behind her. It was Amy. She wore thick-framed black glasses, her emerald green eyes sparkling behind the lenses. Her brown, curly hair fell to her shoulders, and cute freckles dotted her face, making her look like a curious child. She was holding a small cat carrier in each hand, with a black cat in each one. "Da-hee, you bought this car?" Olivia's eyes widened in disbelief. "Of course, our guild master could not be underestimated anymore," I said with a laugh. Bai walked out behind her. When he saw the car, a complex emotion flashed in his eyes. He stepped forward and lightly patted my shoulder, his eyes filled with pride. Amy ran over and gave me a tight hug. "Da-hee, you're amazing," she said excitedly. When we arrived at the red brick building, they were all amazed by the warm, vibrant building. This is our home."
Inside the Guild Hub, we gathered in the second-floor office for our first real-world guild meeting. Bai pulled out the intelligence he had gathered as a journalist and exposed the true background of Shadowguard. The guild master, Azure Light, was the CEO of the world's largest tech company, and Ji-hoon was his illegitimate son. They were using the game as a tool to filter for resources and talent in a bid to control the global energy grid. "So, this battle isn't just in the game. It's a real-world fight," Olivia said, her voice serious. Amy spoke next, her voice soft but her tone firm. "But they don't know they're not just dealing with a bunch of gamers." She took an elegant folder from her bag and handed it to me. "This is for you. I'll be the guild's IT director, responsible for network security and system maintenance," Amy said. I took the folder, my eyes widening in shock as I read the words on the page. Amy, 30, MIT PhD graduate, and founder of a tech startup in the US. Amy laughed, her freckles dancing with her smile. "My black cat is the mascot of MIT, you know?" Then Olivia turned to me, her expression serious. "And I'm a descendant of an ancient British noble family. I got words that my family's business empire is a target for Shadowguard." She paused, then continued. "So, Da-hee, you don't have to worry about our safety. We have some influence in the real world, too." I gave a relaxed, confident smile. This time, we would walk this path together to the very end. Our guild, Eternal Light, would become the most dazzling light in this world. Over the next few weeks, our guild's reputation soared to its peak. We were not only at the top of the world rankings, but our real-life hub became a legend among players. Our cafe was packed every day with players who came to discuss game strategies and hoped to see us, the world champions. Our guild became a dream destination for all players. However, this glory also drew unwanted attention. A few days later, a player named Shadowblade sent me a party invitation. I accepted, knowing it was a test from Shadowguard. "Are you Da-hee?" His voice was arrogant.
I heard you broke the dungeon record and formed a new guild. Our guildmaster is very interested in you." "Oh, is that so?" I replied calmly, a chill running down my spine. His arrogance was just like Ji-hoon's. "You're strong, but you can't survive alone in this world. We at Shadow Guard control global resources. If you join us, you can have anything you want." "I don't need it." My voice was cold. "You don't need it? Who do you think you are? Without our protection, your guild and friends will be crushed. Your guild will be disbanded, and your friends will become stepping stones for others, just like you in your past life." His tone was threatening. I let out a soft, confident laugh. "Did you forget? I'm already in the global top 10. My guild holds the world record, and you're just a coward who doesn't dare to show his real name?" My words silenced him. After a moment, his voice came back full of anger. You'll regret this." "Regret? That word isn't in my dictionary," I said coldly, removing him from the party.
In the real world, to further expand our guild's influence, we decided to host our first player meetup at the hub. As the head planner and PR manager, Bai used his journalist connections to write an in-depth report on the event. The event was a huge success. Our red brick hub became a sacred place for players. Bai's report described Eternal Light as a new force that perfectly blended gaming passion with real-world power. The report went viral on major gaming and tech sites, making our guild's name a sensation and attracting countless fans and potential partners. However, we knew this fame was a double-edged sword. While we became a legend in the gaming community, it made Shadow Guard feel even more threatened. A more lethal confrontation was brewing.
In the guild hub, a pre-storm calm hung over us. Ever since Bai exposed Shadow Guard's conspiracy, we knew this fight wasn't just about the game, it was about reality. Bai, using his journalist network, learned that Shadow Guard was secretly plotting an annihilation plan against us. The executor was Ji-hoon's team. They were no longer just rivals, but pawns controlled by a powerful organization. I led my guildmates into the same sinister dungeon from my past life. It was a trap meticulously designed by Shadow Guard to use my past trauma against me. But this time, I wasn't the priest to be slaughtered. I held my weapon firmly, my mind calm, because I knew I wasn't alone this time. As we ventured deeper, Ji-hoon's team suddenly appeared, launching an ambush. Their gear and skills were far superior, having been funded by Shadow Guard. Ji-hoon looked at me mockingly, his eyes full of present life disdain and jealousy. "You think you can survive alone in this world? You chose a useless assassin class." He seemed proud of his tactics, completely unaware that to me, this was all a pathetic replay of the past. The battle erupted. Ji-hoon's team targeted me with deadly crowd control skills, trying to trap and kill me in one go. In the chaos, I saw Ji-hoon gleefully running towards a stone slab engraved with runes. He thought it was his brilliant, original tactic to trigger it and have stone spikes pierce my legs like in my past life. Just as the spikes shot out, a familiar figure rushed in front of me. It was Olivia. She had no past life memories, but the deep bond in her soul drove her to shield me again. She didn't hesitate, raising her shield and using her body to block the deadly attack. "Don't worry, I'm here," she said. My heart stopped. The pain and fury from my past life surged through me like a tide. An unprecedented power awakened within me. I activated Shadow Dance, my figure becoming a black phantom. I was no longer the one running, I was the guardian. I used my body to block all attacks for Olivia while giving Ji-hoon a cold smile. "You think this is luck?" I taunted him, my voice calm and full of power. My gaze pierced through his arrogance to the fear in his soul. "You're just a pawn spoiled by azure light, and I'm the master of my own destiny." That single line shattered Ji-hoon's will. He went pale, unable to comprehend why his perfect tactic had resulted in complete failure. With our precise teamwork, we defeated his team. He fell to his knees, his eyes wide with disbelief. I ignored him and walked straight towards Olivia. She was weak from the battle, but her eyes were filled with concern for me. I gently pulled her into a hug. Her body was so warm, her presence was so real. "Don't worry, I'm here," I whispered. This embrace was more than just comfort between comrades, it was the reunion of our souls. I was no longer the one who needed to be protected, but the one who could protect her. In that moment,
I truly let go of my past trauma. Our unprecedented victory in the game quickly spread from the virtual world to the real one. Bai wasted no time, using his journalist status to write an in-depth report on the dramatic confrontation and Shadowguard's conspiracy. He used irrefutable evidence to expose how Shadowguard was using the game to control global resources, publishing his report across all his media channels. The report immediately caused a huge stir in the real world. Amy's tech team closely monitored Shadowguard's network. When they tried to delete the evidence, Amy's team quickly backed up all the data and released it to the public. Olivia, using her family's influence, contacted business partners worldwide, cutting off Shadowguard's funding. Shadowguard's master, Azurelight, the CEO of the world's largest tech company, and his illegitimate son, Ji-hoon, lost all their power and status within days. They were arrested by a global coalition of governments and faced charges from multiple countries. The final victory was ours, but I didn't feel the euphoria I expected. On the rooftop of the red brick building, I looked at the twinkling city lights, my past trauma and present victory intertwined in my heart, leaving me feeling restless. The fire of revenge had been extinguished, but a bigger question emerged. What was the ultimate secret of Eternal Dawn? Was it just a second life, or was there a deeper conspiracy and technology hidden behind it? Just as I was lost in thought, a soft footstep sounded behind me. I turned and saw Olivia walking towards me. She had no past life memories, but the pull between us felt real, just as warm as that final embrace from our past life. "What are you thinking about?" she asked softly, walking up to me and placing her hand over mine. I didn't answer, just squeezed her hand. One chapter had closed, but our greatest adventure, the one that might unravel everything we knew, was just beginning.
Thanks for watching. Stay tuned, our next story is coming soon.